Hello everyone, today I want to share my Yaoyao build and team compositions with you in this short guide. As always, I start with a build, then go over team compositions and show some Abyss gameplay at the end.
Sharing my knowledge. With all my strength.
Mind the deluge.
Ah! You play. You're up. Hey, go away.
Yaoyao is an HP scaling healer, so all you gotta do for this character is get max HP and energy recharge and she can basically do her job. But this is one of those healers who actually deals some reasonable damage, especially with the elemental burst skill, so getting crit rate, crit damage, and in her case obviously dendro damage bonus is definitely worthwhile. Especially since she doesn't need as much max HP. With like 20k you can basically recover your whole team with the elemental burst skill. You can also get some elemental mastery, but I think it's only really worth it if you play mainly quicken teams for the extra spread damage. I think mine is actually at 0 right now, this is just Dendro Resonance. As for talents, definitely level up the Elemental Burst skill first. This is basically all the damage she does. The Elemental skill is really only there for Dendro application, but it's worth it leveling it up next as well, and you definitely don't need the normal attacks. As for Constellations, honestly most of them aren't that impressive, which might be a good thing because with Constellation 1 you honestly already have a pretty good 4-star character. This gives your active character a Dendro damage bonus, which is obviously really nice for Dendro main DPS characters like Tenari or Ahatham, for example. So with this you basically have everything you need. Everything else is just some extra personal damage for Yaoyao herself, which isn't really a must-have, but it's nice to have. As for weapon options, I think a great 4-star option is the Favonius Lance. It basically already covers all her energy needs because she can proc it pretty consistently with her Elemental Burst skill if you build some crit chance. And weirdly enough, base attack is actually quite good on this character because her damage is actually not HP scaling, it's attack scaling. That's why I'm actually using the Primordial Winged Spear. As for artifacts, we already covered substats earlier. As for main stats, it's debatable in this slot. I believe it's either HP percentage or energy recharge. If you're severely lacking energy recharge, like below 150%, I think you should definitely pick up ER in this slot as main stat. Dendro damage bonus in this one, and crit rate or crit damage, whichever one balances your build better in the last one. And for the set, I think there's only one valid option, and that is the Deepwood memory set, because you already get some Dendro utility on your first constellation, so you definitely want to build on that with this set. As for team compositions, Yaoyao is obviously a healer, so she can basically do her job in any team composition if that's all you expect her to do. But this whole section would be kind of redundant if we leave it at that, so let's talk about her strength, which is off-field Dendro application and some extra utility to other Dendro characters. So the first obvious choice is obviously picking up a second Dendro character, like for example the Traveler or Nahida as sub DPS or Alhaitham as main DPS. And then you obviously already have a Dendro Resonance, which gives you a bunch of free elemental mastery, which means you want to trigger Dendro elemental reactions. The most straightforward option is just picking a quicken team with a spread and aggravate damage, so any electro character like for example Yaimiko, Kaching, Fischl or Beidou works, so you can pick 2 sub DPS in this case because we already have Alhaitham as main DPS. You can already switch it around with for example Nahida as a sub DPS and pick Kaching as a main DPS, and it also works really nice as well. And you can also switch out one Electro character for a Hydro character and you just turned it around into a Hyper Bloom team. Of course, you can also pick a main DPS. For example, here we have Ayato and we just switch out Kaching again for, I don't know, Yai, for example. And there are some other options for Dendro reactions, a little bit more niche I imagine, and the first one is a Burgeon team. Of course, you just create a bunch of pods with your Hydro and Dendro characters and then a Pyro character detonates them with Burgeon, dealing Dendro damage. And this is important because it also will benefit from the Deepwood memory set of Yaoyao, which is good for Pyro characters like Klee or Yoimiya for example, but even better if you pick a sub DPS character like Thoma, who is usually played for Burgeon teams because he can really consistently trigger that reaction because his Pyro application is quite low, and the pods will get created first and then Thoma will detonate them after very consistently. And this character, you just need enough energy recharge to get his burst skill off consistently, like 180%, and then you just go full elemental mastery, like 700 plus, because that's all that affects the Burgeon damage. And the last option is just going for a straight up Bloom team, and there's obviously one character that excels at this, and it is Nilo. I'd even say that most other teams with only Bloom not involving Nilo are probably not worth it. Just 2 Hydro characters and 2 Dendro characters and involving Nilo. That's it. And now for the showcase, there really isn't too much to talk about, to be honest, because with this character you basically only press the skills and that's it, it's as simple as it gets. You activate the Deepwood memory set through this already as well, so you have nothing to worry about. You just press her skills, and for the Elemental Burst skill you actually have to run around, sprint around to be precise, or jump around to trigger the damage. Otherwise, if you just are attacking normally without moving, she won't do anything. So just keep that in mind, and this is pretty much all to it. And for now, I'm gonna leave you with some Abyss gameplay and come back at the end.
I see everything. Make yourselves at home. Stay put.
Game's up. Run's over. Quietly now.
Time for a light show. A festive reprise. Grow, grow, grow. Sharing my knowledge. Ready, go! Uruguay, you're up.
Things are about to get dicey.
Fire hazard. This might hurt a little. Make yourselves at home.
Game's up. Run's over. Gotcha.
Go get it, Uruguay!
Quietly now.
Go with the ship down!
Here comes the cash.
The Temple of Wisdom. Committed to memory. Stay put. Time for a light show.
Alright, we made it to the end. I hope this gave you some inspiration for your own builds, so stay tuned for more videos. Until then, have fun and bye bye.